Hi there, and welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to do an activity called mindful eating or eating meditation. And so I encourage you, before you go any further, to grab something to eat for this. We will listen to the bell, and I'll explain a little bit before we get started, but maybe you just want to take a moment to pause and go grab something. I like to use an orange or this is a mandarin for this. You can also use chocolate. I've used nuts. Really, you can use anything. With kids in schools, a lot of times we use raisins. So anywho, find something. And before I ring the bell, I want to read you a little card. So I got this set of mindfulness cards that are just gorgeous, that I really love. This one is called Restoring Wellness. And it says, releasing any tension and bringing calm to your body is the first step in restoring wellness. You can't heal your body if you don't pay attention to it. Bringing your mind home to your body, you become established in the here and the now. You have a chance to be aware without judgment of any pain, tension, or suffering in your body. That is the beginning of healing. So you can let those words kind of sit with you as I ring the bell. So take a moment to pause. You're welcome to close your eyes or keep them open. Just feel your breath moving in and out. All right. So mindful eating. This may seem like kind of a strange practice, but honestly, I think it's one of the most natural practices besides breathing and listening to your breath, because we eat all the time, and we've gotten in the habit as a culture, just over the last, I don't even know, even 50 years, 75 years. I mean, think about 100 years ago, how much time people took to eat. They didn't have fast food restaurants and drive-thrus like we have, not nearly as many options to eat out, definitely not DoorDash and those sorts of things. There was a lot more just ritual and slowness around meals and eating. And so to me, it's kind of unnatural to eat the way most of us eat. And I do too. I go out to eat often. I like to grab a quick bite on the run, or don't always like it, but I feel like that's the option I have. But I've been practicing mindfulness for a long time. And so I feel, even though I don't do it every meal, I feel just fortunate to have been introduced to it so many years ago, so that I at least sometimes can remember to take some breaths before I eat, or slow down just a little bit, or not be on my phone while I'm eating. So it's really healthy for us to do this on so many levels. It helps our digestion when we slow down and eat and really smell our food and taste our food. A lot of times if we really smelled our food and tasted our food and slowed down enough to do that, I think a lot of us wouldn't actually like what we're eating. I've found that in this practice that if I'm eating mindfully, there's certain things that I eat all the time that just do not taste good. If I'm scarfing it down, I don't even have time to think about that. That has its benefits too, because sometimes we just need nutrition, right? We just need food in us. We just need calories. If you're like me, I'm hungry a lot. And I've always been like that. I just have really high metabolism. And so sometimes I just need to get food in me. Anyway, it's just interesting when you slow down how you start to notice what you really like, what really tastes good. And that's really good for us, because then we can listen to the signs and signals of our body and know if something is actually nourishing us or bringing in something we need, certain tastes or flavors or nutrients, right? Usually if we eat more mindfully, we're going to make healthier choices. That's just kind of what naturally happens. But this isn't to be judgmental at all about, any of that, because I know it's hard. And there's money involved, and there's time involved, and there's, busy households and busy work schedules involved. So I totally get it. I don't want to put out there that I am eating perfectly by any means. I going through a drive-through or having, my sweets or whatever, just as much as anybody. So, but I also know from experience that if I eat mindfully, the times that I've really focused on that, or it's been a real priority for me, that it has made a huge difference in what I choose to eat and how I feel. So just something to consider. But I like this because we're eating anyway. So can we maybe not spend the whole entire meal eating this way, but what if we just took the first few bites like this, or even just the first bite, or even just paused, and if you're a family or a person who prays before eating, that's a great time. I mean, that's such a great practice because it helps us to pause. If you could add a little bit of breathing to that just to relax your body, that's even better, I think, from my opinion, my perspective. So anyway, we're going to go through this mindful food, mindful eating practice together. So I hope you have your item. And I'd like you to just take a few rounds of breaths, relaxing your body. And as you do that, you can start to just notice, what do you have? What's the color? What's the shape? How does the light hit it? What's it feel like? What's the texture? What is your body doing as you notice this? Or maybe you're starting to smell it. I can already smell this, but maybe you want to actually put it up to your nose and smell it. When we do this with kids in schools and they have a raisin between their fingers, sometimes we'll have them rub it and see what they can hear. So I can do that with this. Not all food, it doesn't work for all food. But sometimes we can notice what we hear when we do eat it, but we're not eating it yet. So as you continue to notice this piece of food, or whatever you have, I invite you to also think about where it came from. So if it is something like a fruit or vegetable, you can consider where it was grown. If it's a piece of chocolate, or something that's like in a wrapper or whatever, you can think about, what is the chocolate made of? Where were those ingredients grown? Right? So we're going to just consider, where did this come from? What part of the world, if we know or have an idea? Think about the sun and the earth and the rain that helped it to grow and to put nutrients in it. How it was harvested, picked, taken to wherever it went next, right? So if you have chocolate, it had to be processed. So just kind of think of the steps. How did it get to you? All of the people involved, the transportation involved, trains, planes, automobiles, the many miles that were driven for it to get to you, the warehouse maybe it was in, and all the people there, and then getting to the store and all the people there, and then you going in and getting it, and the cashier, right? So it takes a lot to get a piece of food to us that comes from another part of the world. Just take a moment to consider all of that. Maybe you have certain memories that come up with this piece of food, so you can also be aware of that. And then, depending on what it is, I have to peel this, so that's going to be another opportunity for me to do so mindfully. I don't have to do anything super, super duper like slow motion, but just paying attention to what I'm noticing in my fingers as I do this, the smells that are really starting to arise now that I've broken open the skin, and how it looks. And then whenever you are ready, I invite you to put the piece of food, don't put too much in, because we're not gonna like swallow it, chew it and swallow it right away. I mean, you can start to chew, but do so slowly. So if you want, you can put it in your mouth and just kind of let it hang out there for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can bite into it. Some people, when they have chocolate, they like to just let it melt, and that's fine too, or you can bite into it, but do so with awareness. Notice the taste, notice the flavors, notice how swallowing feels, notice how it feels in your mouth. Does it taste the way you remember it tasting? Does it have the same texture you remember the last time you ate it? Maybe you have no idea because you've always just popped it in and not thought about it, right? This mandarin is really good, but it's not as juicy as I expected, so that's interesting to notice. You're welcome to close your eyes if you'd like, or just take a few moments to chew. Swallow, just notice textures again, the tastes, and anything else that's coming up for you in your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions, or any body sensations. And you can continue to eat. If you have more, you're welcome to eat more of it slowly. Or you can just pause and let that be. And after you're done, you can just take a few moments and notice. Notice what you're aware of now. And either before or after I eat, I always like to just say thank you to all of the things that allow this food to come to me. The people, the elements, and anything else that you want to just think about or even outwardly say out loud, any expression of gratitude. So I invite you to play with this week and just see about taking a little extra time, maybe even just 1 extra minute at each meal to think about some of these things, to practice 1 or 2 of these things. You don't have to do it all, like I said, and you don't have to do it all for the entire meal. But it can be such an easy way to bring in very gentle self-care practices and mindfulness throughout your day, every day. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me in some mindful eating, and I will see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye.